James Robert Elliott here, and I am with Deanna Lawson-Langford. We're going to be talking about total wellness for business success and really thriving, not only in your life, but of course your business as well. Wanted to introduce Deanna. We were having a great conversation last week, and we thought we'd put something together and wanted to talk about really how addressing the important points of wellness. For example, self-care. I'm up at the cottage doing live. Self-care is critical to your business success. And it's interesting because I keep learning that. I keep seeing that. And the more time I relax, the more leads, the more things coming into my life, the more people are saying, wow, yes, let's do this, versus, well, you got to think about it. Or I don't know, or that's expensive or whatever. I think anyways, I love your thoughts, Deanna. I think it's because you have literally the emotional space, you're able to take this on, the energetic space in your life. I don't get too esoteric, but the emotional space and well-being in your life, and even just the physical ability to do it and accept the work instead of being burnt out. I really think, whether you believe life or the universe brings you things you can handle, and when you can't handle it, it's like, all right, I'm not bringing this to you. Or the I guess more science based approach would be, if you're burnt out, you're not at your best. If you're exhausted, frustrated, if you're not at your best mentally or emotionally, then you're not at your best in terms of sales, showing value, communications, doing the right actions. You're going to be doing things that aren't ideal for you because you feel like crap, versus things that are good for you. So that's my thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well, Deanna.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. It's I'm so envious of your background here up at the cottage, but it absolutely, it's one of the things that we, especially as entrepreneurs, but not only entrepreneurs, I think just as humans, we get caught up in forcing the thing that we're really wanting to think about and wanting to prioritize. And as an entrepreneur, that might be, sales and business success and connecting with people and all of those things. And, I think when we lean into it and force it more, it resists us even stronger. And so often what happens is that we miss out on other components of wellness. So we might dig into, a professional piece or the financial piece, but when we're not looking at that full wellness wheel, as you and I were chatting about, we're not looking at that full wellness wheel, then we forget to prioritize our spiritual wellness, our emotional wellness, our physical wellness. And like you said, then you're just not showing up for your clients and, more importantly, yourself. So how can you be your best to serve others the way you want if you're really not being strategic around all of the areas of wellness?
No, it's true. It's true. And like you said, I mean, it's interesting. I'm very spiritual. I've gotten really more spiritual in the last few years. Coincidentally, my income has grown dramatically. The work I do has decreased. Yet the amount of money I'm making, the amount of amazing people I'm serving, the quality of clients I'm serving has increased. So I think that a lot of people find some sort of purpose, some sort of meaning to what they do, a higher purpose or a higher meaning or not, but just some sort of purpose and meaning. I think that really drives us and enables us to be at our best. I think that is what will, like you said, then you're giving your best, and people will buy from you, whether you believe in, whether it's science you want to think about and how energetically you're at your best and you're communicating your best and giving your best, or whether it's, again, spiritually, energetically, you're drained, you're exhausted, and people will see that, right? And so the universe, and it's not going to bring anything if you're exhausted or burnt out, because you can't handle it. Anyways, because you're fried. All you want to do is relax or step back, and instead of being burnt out.
Absolutely. And I continue to dig into the area of wellness, because at the end of the day, I don't care how much money you have, your health is really all that matters when we look at it from that. You could have billions of dollars, but if you're sick, yes, it would get you better care, of course, but I just really firmly believe that wellness is the key to thriving in all areas. And so when I talk about wellness, people often go, oh, you're talking about fitness. Yes, and there's always an and, right? We're talking about
exactly. So please tell us more, because I agree with you. There's mental, there's fear, the physical, there's spiritual. There's maybe give us a real quick headshot or shot on the wheel of life, or just the other areas that people often neglect.
Yeah, absolutely. So when the coaching work that I do, I work from that 6 areas of wellness. So it's one of the tools that in our Certified Coaches Federation that we use. And so 6 areas: emotional, spiritual, physical, financial, professional, and relationship. And, for me, the big aha moment really came for me because I spent decades, literally decades, saying, hey, this is kind of either or. Either I can prioritize this particular thing, or I can prioritize this particular thing. And that leaves us so out of alignment and just not in balance, right? Giving of yourself until you're sick, giving of yourself until. And so it was really for me when I started working more closely with my coach, and I send in weekly goals, and it was like, okay, the business goals are great. What about the other stuff? And I was struggling emotionally in a couple of areas, and that really was like it was like the head smack emoji for me to say, why am I not strategizing around my emotional wellness, my physical wellness, yes, because I'm in fitness and I kind of think about that, right? But it was so obvious to me when it was pointed out, which is always the case, right? It's clear when somebody else says, hey, what about? And that's that's why, that's why I firmly believe, I am a coach, I have a coach, and that's one of the things I believe. It's just a different perspective. So when I began, like yourself, you were saying, when I began to strategize and look at my emotional wellness and relationship wellness and treat it as I would those business goals, not in a callous way, but business goals are very strategic and very thoughtful about what we do. And why don't we do that with our emotional component? And so now I've started to do that. And I've seen, not only being more emotionally well and serving others better, and some business growth too, right? So it was just so interesting that I thought our entrepreneurs are often struggling because we're working from morning to night, right? Especially during COVID. So let's look at how we can help people work I don't want to keep saying wellness, but I guess I will, in a more well-rounded kind of fashion to move forward in whatever it is that they're after.
And I agree. And you said something interesting. Often people have this limiting belief about, it has to be, or I can do this, or I can do that. I can be a successful entrepreneur, find a great, amazing man or woman, and have a great relationship, or I can be a successful in business, or I can, go work out. Well, no, that is a limiting belief. You can have both. And I encourage people to think 2 things. How can I always, no matter what it is, and I trust me, this will get you way more money if you think, how can I, or how can we, and you teach this to your clients. If they don't have the time or money or energy or the whatever to work with you, or the resources, teach them to think, how can I? And I encourage you to do that too. And think, so, instead of, well, I could work out or I could do business and make sales calls and be productive. I would challenge you to go for a workout, maybe 20 minutes, half hour, go get exercise or whatever. And that's what I do. And I promise you, you can get more done in less time when you do great workouts. Antidepressants, But I think people working so many hours and often getting not much done is because we're not fully on, we're not fully engaged, whether it's mentally, whether it's energetically, whether it's physically. Look at all of that, and I make a good quick swim or run or cold shower or whatever, a walk, anything will be key, and it'll bring you back powerful. Take breaks, take a quick walk or a quick whatever, and I come back strong, and I'm like, wow. And I have naps sometimes, so I have a 20-minute nap during the day, and then do a workout or vice versa. And it's amazing. And it doesn't have to be long. And people think, oh yeah, I got to work out for an hour and a half. No, you can do something. 15, anything is better than nothing. You do 2 10-minute workouts a day, or 2 15, a walk, and then a whatever, abs or something, whatever it is. It's better than nothing. Instead of thinking, I got to do an hour and a half, you got to find an hour and a half to do that. No, because that's the world. So
and it's definitely one of the pieces that I've been speaking to a lot in, especially in this pandemic of, parents, for example, that are working, and that, and especially a lot of moms and dads too, all parents, I will say, of course, just, we were working towards this, what I think is a myth, but we were working towards this work-life balance thing. And when we were out of the house working, we had a false sense of work-life balance, right? Because you're in your home or you're at your work, and you were like, I get it, I'm balanced that way. Then all of a sudden, all those worlds have collided, right? And now you're like, do I need to meet with this kid, help this kid, meet with that teacher, do the laundry, or work? And now everything is just
we'll come back